Albert Einstein is remembered as one of the greatest scientific minds in human history. His discoveries transformed our understanding of space, time, energy, gravity, and the universe itself. The theories he developed over a century ago continue to influence modern science, technology, astronomy, and even everyday devices like GPS. But Einstein's journey to becoming a global icon was far from ordinary. He was not born a genius in the way many people imagine. His life was filled with challenges, failures, curiosity, determination, and relentless imagination. This is the remarkable story of Albert Einstein, from his birth in Germany to the legacy he left behind that continues to shape our world. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in the city of Ulm. He was the first child of Hermann Einstein, an engineer and businessman, and Pauline Koch, a talented pianist who encouraged her son's appreciation for music. Soon after Albert's birth, the family moved to Munich, where his father and uncle established an electrical engineering business. As a young child, Einstein developed more slowly than other children and reportedly spoke very little before the age of 3. This led some people to believe he had learning difficulties, but beneath his quiet personality was an extraordinarily curious mind. He loved observing the world around him and constantly wondered why things worked the way they did. One event during his childhood had a profound impact on his future. When Albert was about 5 years old, his father showed him a small magnetic compass. As the needle mysteriously pointed north, no matter how he turned the compass, Einstein became fascinated by the invisible force acting upon it. He later recalled that moment as one of the experiences that awakened his lifelong curiosity about the hidden laws governing nature. It was the first time he realized that unseen forces could control the physical world. School was not always enjoyable for Einstein. The German education system emphasized strict discipline and memorization, while Albert preferred asking questions and understanding ideas rather than simply repeating facts. Some teachers considered him stubborn because he challenged accepted explanations and refused to memorize information without understanding it. Despite these difficulties, he excelled in mathematics and physics from an early age. By the age of 12, he had already taught himself advanced geometry and algebra, solving problems that many university students would find difficult. In 1894, financial problems forced the Einstein family to move to Milan. Albert remained behind briefly to finish school, but soon joined his family. Rather than continuing in the traditional German education system, he decided to pursue higher education in Switzerland. After initially failing the entrance examination because of weak scores in subjects outside mathematics and science, he attended a preparatory school before successfully enrolling at the prestigious Swiss Federal Polytechnic in Zurich. There he studied physics and mathematics, graduating in 1900. Finding employment after graduation proved difficult. Despite his exceptional abilities, Einstein struggled to secure an academic position because some professors did not support him. Eventually, in 1902, he accepted a job as a technical examiner at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. To many people, this might have seemed like a disappointing career choice for a physicist, but the quiet and predictable work gave Einstein plenty of time to think deeply about scientific problems. Every evening after finishing his work at the Patent Office, he devoted himself to studying physics and discussing ideas with close friends. In 1903, Einstein married Mileva Maric, a fellow physics student. While balancing family responsibilities and his Patent Office career, he continued his scientific research independently. Then came the year that would forever change the history of science.
The year 1905 became known as Einstein's miracle year. In just a few months, he published 4 scientific papers that completely transformed physics. His first paper explained the photoelectric effect, showing that light behaves not only as a wave, but also as tiny packets of energy called quanta. This groundbreaking idea later became one of the foundations of quantum physics. Another paper explained Brownian motion, providing convincing evidence that atoms truly existed, at a time when many scientists still doubted their existence. His third paper introduced the special theory of relativity, demonstrating that the laws of physics remain the same for observers moving at constant speeds, and that the speed of light is always constant regardless of the observer's motion. Finally, Einstein introduced perhaps the most famous equation ever written, E equals mc squared, revealing that mass and energy are different forms of the same thing. This simple equation forever changed humanity's understanding of the universe. Although these revolutionary ideas were initially met with skepticism, scientists gradually realized their enormous significance. Einstein's reputation grew rapidly, and universities across Europe invited him to teach. By 1909, he left the patent office and began a full-time academic career. Over the following years, he held professorships in Zurich, Prague, and eventually Berlin, where he focused on solving an even greater mystery, the true nature of gravity. For nearly a decade, Einstein worked tirelessly on what became the general theory of relativity. Published in 1915, the theory proposed that gravity is not an invisible force pulling objects together, as Isaac Newton had described centuries earlier. Instead, Einstein showed that massive objects such as planets and stars bend the fabric of space and time itself, and other objects simply follow those curves. This revolutionary idea completely changed our understanding of gravity and laid the foundation for modern cosmology. Einstein's greatest public triumph came in 1919, when a solar eclipse expedition led by Arthur Eddington confirmed one of the major predictions of general relativity. The light from distant stars had indeed bent as it passed near the sun, exactly as Einstein predicted. Newspapers around the world celebrated the discovery, and overnight Einstein became an international celebrity. His face appeared on magazine covers, and his name became synonymous with genius. In 1921, Einstein received the Nobel Prize in Physics. Surprisingly, the award was not for relativity, but for his explanation of the photoelectric effect, which later became essential for technologies such as solar panels, digital cameras, and modern electronics. The Nobel Prize cemented his place among the greatest scientists of all time. As the political situation in Germany worsened during the early 1930s and Adolf Hitler rose to power, Einstein, who was Jewish, faced increasing danger. In 1933, while traveling abroad, he decided never to return to Germany. He settled permanently in the United States, joining the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, where he spent the remainder of his career. Although Einstein was a lifelong advocate for peace, he became deeply concerned that Nazi Germany might develop atomic weapons first. In 1939, he signed a letter addressed to Franklin D. Roosevelt, urging the United States to investigate nuclear research. This letter helped inspire the creation of the Manhattan Project. After World War II, however, Einstein regretted the destructive use of nuclear weapons and devoted much of his remaining life to promoting peace, international cooperation, and nuclear disarmament. Throughout his later years, Einstein pursued an ambitious dream, finding a single unified theory that could explain all the forces of nature. Although he never achieved this goal, his search inspired generations of physicists and continues to influence modern research into quantum gravity and the fundamental structure of the universe. Albert Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955, at the age of 76 in Princeton, New Jersey. Even during his final days, he continued working on scientific equations, refusing to stop exploring the mysteries of the universe. According to his wishes, he was given a simple funeral, and his ashes were scattered at an undisclosed location. Today, more than 70 years after his death, Albert Einstein remains one of history's most influential figures. His theories are used in satellite navigation systems, space exploration, black hole research, gravitational wave astronomy, quantum technology, and countless scientific discoveries. More importantly, he demonstrated that curiosity, imagination, and the courage to question accepted beliefs can transform humanity's understanding of reality. His remarkable journey from a quiet child fascinated by a compass to the scientist who revolutionized modern physics continues to inspire millions around the world. Albert Einstein did not simply change physics, he changed the way humanity sees the universe itself. Don't forget to like this video,